Once upon a time, in a small Yoruba village surrounded by green hills and tall palm trees, there lived two wives named Adoni and Bola. They were both married to the same husband, a kind man named Ade. Adoni and Bola were not just co-wives, they were also best friends. They had grown up together, playing under the mango tree and sharing their dreams of a happy family. But as the years passed, their dream of having children remained unfulfilled. No matter how hard they prayed and hoped, their home stayed quiet without the laughter of children. The villagers whispered about them, saying it was a curse or that they were not blessed. Adoni and Bola felt the weight of these words in their hearts. Even though Ade tried to comfort them, they knew he also longed for a child. One day, while they were drawing water from the village well, they heard about a powerful traditional healer named Babara. He lived deep in the forest, far from the village, and was known for helping people with all kinds of problems. Adoni and Bola looked at each other with hope in their eyes. Maybe Baba could help them have a child. They decided to visit Baba together. The journey was long and filled with challenges. They had to cross a rickety bridge over a rushing river and walk through a dense forest where the trees seemed to whisper secrets. They were scared but determined. They held each other's hands, supporting one another, and pressed on. When they finally reached Baba's hut, they were nervous. The hut was old and covered in vines. A strange smell filled the air, and the sound of drums could be heard from somewhere inside. Baba greeted them with a smile and invited them in. He listened carefully as they poured out their hearts, telling him about their longing for children. After a long silence, Baba spoke. "I can help you," he said in a deep voice. "But you must know this. If you have a child, 7 months after the baby is born, you will become mad. Are you willing to go through this for a child?" Adoni and Bola were shocked. What did Baba mean by mad? They looked at each other, their hearts pounding. Adoni thought about the joy of holding her own baby and the warmth of a little hand in hers. "I am willing," she said firmly. She was ready to face anything for a child. Bola, however, felt a shiver run down her spine. The thought of going mad scared her. She loved Adoni and respected her courage, but she was not sure if she could take the risk. She hesitated, then shook her head. "I cannot," she whispered. "I cannot become mad because I need a child." Baba nodded, understanding their choices. "The decision is yours," he said. "You will see what the future holds." Adoni and Bola left Baba's hut, each lost in their thoughts. As they walked back to the village, Adoni felt a strange mix of excitement and fear. Bola, on the other hand, felt a heavy weight in her chest. They had made their choices, and now they had to wait and see what would happen. Months passed, and the news spread quickly through the village. "Adoni is pregnant!" The people were curious and excited, and some were even envious. Bola tried to be happy for her friend, but she couldn't shake off the feeling of dread. She watched as Adoni's belly grew, and the joy in her friend's eyes made her feel both happy and sad. Finally, the day came. Adoni gave birth to a healthy baby boy. The village celebrated with drumming and dancing. Ade was overjoyed, and the house was filled with laughter and happiness. As the weeks went by, the thought of Baba's prophecy lingered in the back of everyone's mind. What would happen when the baby turned 7 months old? The day approached, and the air was thick with suspense. Even the birds seemed quieter, as if they too were waiting. Bola watched Adoni closely, worried about her friend. She wondered if the madness would be sudden or if it would creep up slowly. Then, The 7 months arrived. Adoni woke up early, feeling different. She was more energetic, and her baby was more active than ever. She sang lullabies, danced around the house, and laughed loudly. The baby giggled and clapped his tiny hands. The house was filled with joy and noise. Bola, watching from the side, was shocked. Adoni seemed different, but not in a bad way. The prophecy was true, but not in the way they had feared. Bola felt a wave of relief and regret wash over her. She realized that she had let fear hold her back. She watched Adoni with her baby and felt a deep longing in her heart. She wished she had been brave enough to take the chance. As the days went by, Bola helped Adoni with the baby and found joy in being a kind stepmother. She played with the little boy, sang to him, and watched him grow. As time went on, the village continued to buzz with the story of Adoni's miraculous child. The villagers were fascinated by the transformation that had taken place in Adoni's life. Even though she was busy and often exhausted, the joy she radiated was undeniable. Ade, their husband, was a proud father, often seen playing with the baby boy, his laughter echoing through the village. Bola, meanwhile, found herself at a crossroads. She had chosen to avoid Baba's prophecy, fearing the unknown. But now, seeing the happiness in Adoni's life, she couldn't help but question her decision. She felt a mix of emotions, happiness for her friend, regret for not taking the chance, and a deep longing for her own child. One evening, as the sun set over the village, Bola sat alone by the river. She watched the water flow and thought about the choices she had made. She remembered the fear she felt when Baba spoke of madness, and how she had let that fear control her decision. She realized that the madness Baba spoke of was just the challenges of motherhood, not real insanity. It was the beautiful chaos of raising a child filled with sleepless nights and endless love. Determined to confront her fears, Bola decided to visit Baba once more. She wanted to understand the prophecy better and see if there was still a chance for her to have a child. The next morning, she set out on the familiar path to Baba's hut. The journey felt different this time, less daunting, more hopeful. She was no longer afraid of the unknown. She was ready to face whatever came her way. When she arrived at Baba's hut, she was greeted with the same wise smile. Baba seemed to know why she had come, and without waiting for her to speak, he said, "You have learned much, Bola. The choice you made was not wrong, but it was made out of fear. Fear is a powerful thing, but it can also be overcome." Bola nodded, her eyes filled with determination. "Baba, I want to understand the prophecy better. Is there still a chance for me to have a child?" Bola took a deep breath. She realized she had been holding on to fear, and it had kept her from experiencing the fullness of life. She looked at Baba and said, "I am ready. I want to have a child, no matter what it takes." Baba nodded approvingly. He handed her a small pouch filled with herbs and instructions on how to use them. "Take these herbs and follow the instructions. Trust in the process and in yourself. The path of motherhood is not easy, but it is worth it." Bola thanked Baba and made her way back to the village, feeling a newfound sense of courage and hope. She was ready to embrace the journey of motherhood, just as Adoni had. She knew it would not be easy, but she was willing to face the challenges head on. Upon returning to the village, Bola shared her decision with Ade and Adoni. Ade was overjoyed at the prospect of another child, while Adoni was glad that her friend had found the courage to follow her heart. The village once again buzzed with anticipation, this time for Bola's journey into motherhood. Bola followed Baba's instructions carefully, taking the herbs and performing the rituals with dedication. She prayed every day, hoping for the miracle of life. Weeks turned into months, and soon, Bola began to show signs of pregnancy. The villagers were thrilled, and her day was filled with pride and happiness. Bola felt a mix of emotions: joy, nervousness, and a little fear of the unknown. She was ready to face whatever came her way. As Bola's pregnancy progressed, a strange thing began to happen. She started having vivid dreams, unlike any she had ever experienced. In these dreams, she saw herself running through the village, laughing and playing with a child. The dreams felt so real that she would wake up with her heart racing, unsure if they were just dreams or a glimpse of the future. One night, she had a particularly intense dream. She saw herself holding a baby girl wrapped in a colorful cloth. The baby was smiling, and Bola felt a deep, overwhelming love. But then, the dream took a dark turn. She saw herself running through the village, shouting and laughing uncontrollably. The villagers were staring at her, whispering about madness. She woke up in a cold sweat, her heart pounding. Bola couldn't shake off the feeling of unease. She remembered Baba's words about the madness that would come 7 months after the baby was born. She wondered if her dreams were a warning or just her fears playing tricks on her. She decided to keep the dreams to herself, not wanting to worry Ade or Adoni. As the months passed, Bola's dreams continued. Some were beautiful and filled with joy, while others were dark and unsettling. She couldn't make sense of them, but she tried to focus on the positive. She prepared for the arrival of her baby with the help of Adoni, who was always by her side. Finally, the day arrived. Bola went into labor, and the village gathered to support her. The air was thick with anticipation and excitement. After a long and difficult labor, Bola gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. The village erupted in celebration, and Ade couldn't contain his joy. Bola held her baby in her arms, tears of happiness streaming down her face. She felt a love so powerful it overwhelmed her. But in the back of her mind, the memory of Baba's prophecy lingered. As she took her baby girl, she couldn't help but wonder if the madness would come. The villagers too remembered the prophecy and watched Bola closely, waiting for any sign of trouble. The first few weeks after the birth were blissful. Bola was overjoyed with her new baby, and Adoni helped her navigate the challenges of motherhood. They laughed, played, and shared stories, creating beautiful memories. The baby girl was healthy and happy, bringing joy to everyone around her. However, as the 7th month approached, Bola's dreams intensified. The unsettling dreams of madness became more frequent, and she struggled to shake off the fear that gripped her heart. She confided in Adoni, who listened patiently and reassured her that everything would be fine. But deep down, Bola couldn't help but feel that something was coming. On the day the baby turned 7 months old, the village held its breath. Bola woke up feeling a strange energy coursing through her body. She felt restless and on edge. She tried to go about her day as usual, but the feeling wouldn't go away. She started to feel overwhelmed by the noise, the crying, and the endless task of motherhood. As the day went on, Bola began to laugh uncontrollably. She felt an overwhelming urge to dance and shout. The villagers watched in shock as she ran through the village, holding her baby and laughing loudly. Some whispered that the prophecy had come true, that Bola had gone mad. Others watched with pity, wondering if they should intervene. Adoni rushed to Bola's side, trying to calm her down. Bola's laughter turned into tears, and she collapsed into Adoni's arms, sobbing. "Am I mad?" she cried. "Is this the madness Baba spoke of?" Adoni held her friend tightly, tears in her own eyes. "No, Bola, you're not mad. You're just overwhelmed. Motherhood is hard, but you're strong. You're not alone." The village elders gathered, concerned about what they had witnessed. They decided to consult Baba once more, hoping for guidance. Baba arrived at the village, his presence commanding respect and attention. He approached Bola and gently placed his hand on her shoulder. "You are not mad, Bola," Baba said softly. "The madness I spoke of was not real madness. It was just the overwhelming emotions and challenges that come with motherhood. The joy, the fear, the love, it's all part of the journey. You are simply experiencing the intensity of being a new mother. The choice you made was yours, and it led you to a path of understanding and growth." Bola looked at Baba, her eyes filled with relief and understanding. She realized that her dreams were not a prophecy of madness, but a reflection of her own fears and anxieties. She had been afraid of the challenges of motherhood, but now she understood that they were just a part of the journey. The villagers, too, began to understand. They saw that the madness was just the chaos, the busyness, the singing and dancing of senseless songs, the running up and down that is involved in taking care of a growing baby, and all the anxieties that come with it. They came together to support Bola, offering their help and love. Bola felt a deep sense of gratitude and love for her community. As the days passed, Bola settled into her new role as a mother. She learned to embrace the chaos, busyness, and the joy, finding strength in her love for her daughter. Adoni and Ade stood by her side, offering support and encouragement. The two wives grew even closer, their bond strengthened by their shared experiences. Bola's journey had taught her a valuable lesson about courage and love. She realized that life is full of challenges, but it's the love and support of family and friends that make it all worthwhile. She felt a deep sense of peace and happiness, knowing that she had faced her fears and come out stronger. Bola and Adoni continued to raise their children together, sharing the joys and challenges of motherhood. They laughed, cried, and celebrated every milestone. The village watched with admiration, seeing the strength and resilience of the two women. Bola often thought about the journey she had taken. She remembered the fear, the doubt she had felt, and how she had almost let it hold her back. But she also remembered the love and support she had received from her family and friends, and how it had given her the strength to face her fears. As she looked at her daughter, now growing up strong and happy, Bola felt a deep sense of pride and joy. She knew that she had made the right choice, and she was grateful for the lessons she had learned along the way. She had learned that true courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to face it. Bola and Adoni's friendship grew even closer. They talked about their journey, their fears, and the lessons they had learned. They realized that life is full of choices, and that sometimes taking a leap of faith is worth it. They knew that no matter what, they would always be there for each other, sharing the joys and challenges of life. Bola and Adoni's story became a legend in the village, a tale of courage, love, and the beautiful madness of motherhood. It was a story that was passed down through generations, reminding everyone of the strength of the human spirit and the power of love. And so, Bola, Adoni, and their families lived happily ever after, filled with love, laughter, and the beautiful chaos of life. They knew that no matter what challenges came their way, they would always face them together, with courage and love in their hearts. Thank you so much for watching our very first story on African Tales by Imade. Please share your thoughts in the comments box below. And if you don't want to miss out on the next story about the affluent but evil sister-in-law who was ashamed of her biological ailing mother and then deceitfully forced her brother's wife to fulfill her ailing mother's obligation. Then make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to see the video. Please don't forget to like and share the story with your friends and family. Your support helps us to bring even more amazing stories to life. Thank you for being a part of our storytelling family, and we'll see you in the next story. Bye!